yourselves on the back because we have made it to Friday. None of my panel wanted to pack themselves. Oh, Dan did it. Right. Very good. And we have an amazing show for you guys today because good news for the first time coming out of the Spider-Man camp. We have good news about what's going on with Spidey. Of course, we're also going to be talking about one of the best new books that is hitting the market on October 1st, and that is Embrace Your Weird. We even have the author here, spoiler alert. And crisis updates, because apparently every single human being and their mother is getting cast in this. So we're just going to keep on doing updates until December, which is when it comes out. And then obviously, like I mentioned, it's Friday, so Fan Friday. Get ready for that, everyone. But I am not here alone. I am also joined by an incredible panel of experts setting the bar very, very high. Vanessa Gritton in the house.
Hi.
With the blue hair, as always.
Yeah, I just gave it a refresh, so I look less like Krusty the Clown.
You never looked like Krusty the Clown.
It's the exact same shade when it fades.
No. I think it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm very jealous. If my hair didn't snap off like a twig if I try to lighten it, I would have your hair.
Well, I'm pretty sure that every single person watching right now is jealous of your hair. Felicia Day in the house.
No, I would say my hair is this is Fun Day Friday in that I'm not curling my hair. I was just like, you know what? A ponytail is good enough for me or anybody else on this planet today.
First of all, you're rocking it. Second of all, I can't believe that you're here to talk about your book, which I read and I love.
You
and
have 5 stars. 5 stars. Roxy, 5 stars.
I really did. 5 stars. Yeah. I have to say that out loud now, though, so you can use that quote.
Oh, thank
Roxy
you.
Striar gives Felicia's book 5 stars.
Yay.
But actually, I do, and it's amazing. So we're going to break that down so everybody knows what is going on in that super creative book. And Dan Murrell as well, the person who agrees with me on everything on the planet, right?
Everything in the world.
All
you can always tell when we have company because we break out the table water.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I almost made the comment, but then I was like, Felicia's going to be like, they brought the waters for me?
You guys don't get water? Is that just like...
No, never. We don't.
Wow.
It's like, that's not true necessarily. You could request a water, aka you could go grab one for yourself.
But you don't get a default water unless Sparkletts is getting a little bit of a pump up here.
Yeah,
we put out the
true.
fancy china for our company, for our honored guests
so
today.
Sweet.
We all
Yeah.
get water.
Well, you are an honored guest, so you've earned that little water
You know
bottle.
what? I'm trying not to drink out of bottled water. I'm trying not to drink out of plastic because I have that maybe a slightly unfounded superstition that it gives you cancer.
Well, it depends on the heat of the water, right?
That's what I'm saying. But how do I know this hasn't been heated up? How do I know?
Because we have stuck it in the refrigerator, right?
Don't trust you.
We do microwave all of our water.
That's very true.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So,
well, the good thing is that I did buy one of those $30 steel things to carry water in, and it lasted 4 days. And then I was like, exactly. So I feel like my steel water bottle budget is way too high for the year. I can't go in there again.
What an excellent transition, because speaking of things that lasted 4 days, the Spider-Man debacle lasted approximately about 4 days, guys. This was the thing that none of us knew what was going to happen. First, Spider-Man is not going to be able to be with Marvel anymore. Then they are going to be. Then they're not. We're fighting over numbers. Nobody's being specific about where they're at. And finally, apparently, they came to some very quiet conclusion that is now all over the place, that there is going to be another MCU Spider-Man movie. Dan seems very unsurprised by this. I was kind of surprised. I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's the naiveness of me, but I thought with these big execs there, they were going to both double down and we were never going to get the creative choice that we want. That doesn't seem to be what's happening here. Dan, why aren't you shocked about this?
Because the only way that this made sense as any kind of move was financially. And that means that I thought that this was public negotiation from the jump, from the word go, and it seems like that's exactly what it was the two companies who have to come to terms, who were leveraging a fan base in the middle to negotiate terms.
We've been used like a fiddle, Dan. And I'm not mad at it.
Is that not surprising? Like, I think everything is using fans, really? A little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, but beside the fact that we might not have seen this or did see this coming, are you excited about this, Vanessa? Is this the right move?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I honestly, like you, thought it was going to be dragged out for much longer, at least a year, but also I'm one of the bargaining chip fans in that fan base, so to be expected, but I'm excited about it. I feel like I've been wanting more out of Tom Holland, so I'm happy for him.
Well, now we're going to get it. Felicia, how do you feel about that number, 25%? So the deal finally was that Disney's going to pay for 25% of the Spider-Man film, and they will receive roughly 25% of the profits. Do you think that that's a fair number?
I mean, I don't know the particulars of it, but it seems interesting that would be like the conclusion. I guess, I don't know. I mean, 25. aren't you supposed to get a little bit more for your investment? But I don't know. I don't know finances. That's why I do not do business well. But anyway, so yeah.
You're the creative part. That's fine.
I'm the creative person. Yeah. So creatively, I'm like, great, that works. That seems pretty natural.
Well, you are a little bit more of a numbers guy, Dan. What do you think about that 25%? Does that seem like where you would have guessed they landed?
Yeah, well, Disney went to the table where they wanted 50-50. 50-50 funding, 50-50 profits.
But
it sounds exactly like the negotiation where you get half of what you asked for.
Do they actually want 50? Do you think that Disney ever went to the table with 50 thinking that Sony would be like, yeah, okay, 50 sounds good?
Well, no. Obviously, no, they weren't going to get... I mean, I'm sure Sony would have said yes to the 50-50 funding part, but not the getting the half of the profits.
Right.
Yeah, it's a business negotiation, and they have this now, whether it was Disney or Sony, I don't know. One of them or both of them knew that they had this very public forum. They had D23 happening right around the same time where they could, let this leak out that they weren't going to come to terms. And then there was weeks of fan uproar and upcry. Like, see, both sides could point and be like, see, look how much they want you to come back to the table. And then it's like a dance. It's like, like when DirecTV, like the carrier fees are going to get renewed and then like ABC will run a commercial.
Yeah, they're like, we're not doing call your representative.
Call DirecTV now and tell them you want to watch Jeopardy.
How many people do that?
I do.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
I do.
Of course they do.
You do too.
Us right here.
Yeah. And you know who does it enough for all of us? Grammy and Popo.
Oh, yeah.
Grammy and Popo, bless them at 92 and 94, are on that phone faster than the commercial's even over.
It's good to be proactive. It feels really powerful to do something proactive in your life.
We are the Grammy and Popo of the MCU.
That's a really good point. But do you guys think that this will ultimately affect the fans' viewing experience of this movie? At least the ones who are paying attention to the story, knowing what went into it, the back and forth. When you go to the theaters, is this going to affect you at all, negatively or positively?
I mean, I think the only thing is that I don't think there was like this, really cogent idea that, these Spider-Man movies are done by a completely different studio and creative team. I think it might like highlight the differences in the way that they construct the movies. Like, wow, this is a different style than, say, the Marvel movies, right? And they have a different flavor, but maybe that'll be more apparent in the viewer's mind because it's like they brought their dirty laundry to the table in a sense.
Vanessa?
Yeah. Same thing where I don't really think it's going to affect it creatively, but as a fan, it is interesting to go in, and I feel like fans now are more exposed to the business behind how their movies are made than they've ever been before. So we've never been this invested in the money that's passed back and forth. So going into it, I think it's interesting to just think about some of the leverage and conversations that went into it. It's we have a view behind the scenes that we've never seen before. So
it's like if Spider-Man shows up in a Marvel movie, it's like how much money per second is his face
all
costing?
You're thinking of the whole time.
So much more important than the other characters, kind of.
It's not negative or positive. It's just interesting.
I feel a little clouded though by the fact that we are so in the thick of this. Do you think that average fans even will have any idea?
No. Number one, most fans do not, I don't think, follow the day-to-day of the... Now, that's changing a little bit because of channels like ours and many others who pump out this stuff. 10 years ago, this all would have happened behind closed doors and no one would ever have known about it. But I do feel like... I think maybe for some people, it's kind of like if you have like a couple friends... And like you only see them like when you're out to dinner, and they're the perfect couple. And then like you're at a party, you see them arguing, you're like, oh, they're just like us. It does ground it a little bit, but yeah, I think number one, we're back to the status quo, and then number two, I don't think that the average fan is going to be sitting there in 2 years or 3 years when Spider-Man whatever home comes out and is thinking like, oh wow, I wonder how the deal with Marvel, the negotiation affected this product.
I guess if you're thinking about that while watching the movie, there's a bigger problem going on. Yeah, for sure. This is supposed to be set to be released July 16th, 2021. Do we think that date will stick? Do we think that's a good date for a Spider-Man movie? Is it too far, too close? How are you guys feeling about the release date? Oh,
That's standard.
I'm apathetic. I didn't see the last one. I'll admit it. Spider-Man is not my priority in life. Sorry.
really? Not your number one? What were you, busy or something?
No, I'm not motivated by Spider-Man. I'm sorry. Most people will hate me now.
That's not true.
I will always see.
Embrace your weird.
I'm going to embrace it, all right? I'm okay with Spider-Man. I do like but I only have seen I have not seen his movies, and I feel really, I might lose my geek card for that. I enjoyed Avengers. I watched Captain Marvel and Aquaman back to back, so I feel like I am on the plane. It was a long flight.
Yeah.
I watched them back to back, and I was like, wow, I almost enjoyed Aquaman more because I'm like, what the hell are they doing on those seahorses? It was almost like a Mystery Science Theater movie in action, and yet I was enjoying myself a lot because it was was so weird.
DC was hoping for that.
Was it really?
I just think they were hoping for people like you watching these back to back on the plane, being like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Captain Marvel was very good movie. I'm like, but I need to see those weird seahorses again.
That octopus is playing the drums.
So I'll probably just binge all the Spider-Man in one day. So by 2021, I'll probably do that.
Well, there you go.
You guys correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I'm understanding, there's actually going to be 2 of these Spider-Man movies. One's a standalone Spider-Man. One is a Tom Holland appearance in another MCU film.
Right.
And that's the case. Yeah. What film are you guys hoping for? Is there a pick that you guys would want to see him in?
Man, what would he be in? Because we don't really... There's no reason for him to appear in, like, Tony Stark stories anymore, because that's not going to happen. So I'm trying to think of what would be the most likely one.
Always got something hiding under their hat.
Yeah.
I mean, how do they even coordinate it all with all the TV shows coming out and then all the I mean, who doesn't have a show right now? Like what character?
Me.
Oh, yeah, believe me. But what character doesn't have a show happening right now?
Trying to think.
They're going to have to dig deep.
Yeah.
And I can't
Or
really
at
think,
least in development.
There's She-Hulk, but there's no Hulk.
No, there's She-Hulk. There's Ms. Marvel.
Yeah.
There's
I don't
Scarlet
know.
Witch.
Yeah, Vision.
Vision.
He's dead.
He's
And he
coming
has a
back
show.
somehow. Yeah, dead people have shows.
people
Like
have shows.
dead
And a strange
superheroes.
sitcom show at that. So I don't know, but I think that if they're going to use him in another movie, it's not going to be like small cameo status. We're going to have him as a straight up character.
Yeah.
in
They
the
didn't pay
movie.
25% of just a cameo.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm wondering, who do we want to see him with now? There's no dream team pair up or anybody that anybody you guys are
What about
thinking?
Spider Girl? Like they are their they can't have any spider people, can they?
Would that
The
count as
Spider
being a
individuals
non-spider?
are-
Yeah.
The Spider individuals, I believe,
Are owned by
belong
Sony.
100% to Sony.
100% to
yes.
Sony. So no Venom, no nothing. Yeah.
I would like to see a Tom Holland Spider-Man interacting with Banner a little bit more, if that was anything that we can even make happen. Because in my head, I keep trying to think of what New York ground level superheroes exist in the MCU, and I feel like they're all going to be series at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black
Everything
Panther
else-
is still movies.
Yeah,
Right?
a lot of the stuff that are still
Yeah.
movies don't really exist in that New York setting anymore. So I can't really think of how they would meet.
Yeah, because you don't want every movie to be like why Peter Parker left New York. Like,
Exactly.
no, we want Spider-Man to be in New York.
I do feel like I'm having an existential crisis right now because I was just literally going to say out loud, but what is a movie?
Oh no!
What is a movie anymore? Because with like movies coming out on Disney Plus and then TV shows going to the
It's a weird world to be in right now.
What is a movie, may I ask you? What do you guys think at home? What is a movie? More importantly, which movies do you want to see Spider-Man make an appearance in? How do you feel about this? Are you going to be thinking about it when you're at the movie theater, or are you just glad that the negotiations are done with? We would love to hear from you guys. Don't forget, while you are here, to like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Yeah. Oh,
Wow. Oh, that is the
Right.
lamest bell.
Yeah.
I'll say for a Friday, that was like a Tuesday bell. It was not a party bell that we heard.
That was the microwave water bell.
Yeah. Oh, it's been with our waters for too long, definitely. And also, don't forget that we have great stuff on Fandom.com. The Joker in live action, the many faces of the clown prince of crime. There's so much Joker conversation right now, but this really breaks it down for you. It's an in-depth look at every on-screen Joker, so make sure you guys check that out. Again, Fandom.com. And we have the first new episode of Power Levels out on Thursday. That's next Thursday, October 3rd. You guys might even recognize the voice of that show, or maybe you don't, because apparently a lot of people thought that it was Emma Fife. It's me, spoiler alert. I'm the voice. Yes, it's at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Batman v Batman, v Batman, which is what we all really love to see. So check it out when it's released. Share it with your friends, please. I would really appreciate it. And we are not done yet, guys, because we have amazing things going on that week as well, including New York Comic-Con. Dan, I know that you will be there ready to play in New York.
I will be there, and so will Roth Cornet, and so will Joe Starr, and I believe, is Billy going? Billy Business will be there.
Billy Business, bring the business.
Couple of opportunities. First of all, we'll just be kind of walking around. I love just walking around conventions. I like to find the little booths in the corners that sell like the handmade stuff that you can't find anywhere else, because the Funko Pops are everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's always like fun stuff to find. But first of all, if you like Mr. Joe Starr, you can check him out on Thursday, October 3rd. That's next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday from 12:30 to 1:30 in room 1A21. He's going to be on a panel that sounds really cool called Role Playing Human. It's got Brian W. Foster from Critical Role. He's going to be moderating the panel with Michael Burton, Clint McElroy, Rachel Miner, Brian Posehn, Dan Telfer, and our own Joe Starr.
Yeah, and he is a star.
They're going to be talking about tabletop RPGs, the impact they've had on their lives, their careers, how it's helped them to develop attributes that are more important than strength, like empathy, cooperation, tolerance. Sounds like a really fun panel. So go see Joe Starr and a great panel of people on Thursday. And then Saturday night is a big night for us because
what you got?
We will be premiering at 8:30 on Saturday, October 5th in room 1A10, our documentary about Galaxy Quest. It is a feature-length document. It's not a short film. It is a feature-length documentary about Galaxy Quest. The 20th anniversary is coming up. And it's not just about Galaxy Quest. It features almost everyone, all of the big names, both in front of and behind the camera, are in the documentary. We've got David Lindelof is interviewed for it. We've got Greg Berlanti.
I was supposed to be interviewed for it. I just looked at that. I was like, oh, they were supposed to do an interview with me, but we never did it. So I'm not in it.
We could like do a single like shot
happened?
Now and like insert.
I don't know.
Just insert this right now.
They had to delay it and then they never rescheduled, but I'm sure it's great. I know the producer. She's wonderful.
She's wonderful. Yes. Well,
was it my fault? It might have been my fault.
Something I said.
Sorry.
No.
You won't see Felicia Day, but you will see a lot of really cool people in the documentary.
Can I like FaceTime in? How do I watch?
Yeah.
Well, there will be other announcements about that.
Okay.
In particular, this is just the premiere.
Wow,
this is just the debut.
We put him on the spot, both of us.
I'm so sorry. You're blushing. You're sweating right now. I think it was my fault. I think I maybe didn't follow up to reschedule. Sorry.
I'm like that Jordan Peele gif of like the water.
Yeah.
But this is huge, and honestly, knowing you guys, this room is going to fill up. So I suggest getting there rather early,
because
team.
It's not just the documentary. We're also going to be previewing some of our new stuff and debuting a never-before-seen honest trailer. Which, if you liked this episode of this show, then you might want to show up to check that out too.
SpiderMan?
There might be some relation. I don't know. I legitimately don't know, but I do think that perhaps we're gonna try to. We're gonna try to make something happen.
He made it up. We don't even know. That's awesome.
Yeah, next Saturday night, October 5th, 8:30 to 10:30, room 1A10. It's going to be a smorgasbord of wonderful stuff.
So everybody be there for Comic-Con. Don't forget to check out Power Levels and check out Fandom.com. Also, this month is September, which is Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. And Dan, I know that we've partnered with the team that you've met at previous Comic-Cons.
Yeah, StackUp, Dave Krause, and the team behind there. We met them a couple times at Comic-Con in San Diego. It's so great to get to see them and talk to them. We met them the last couple years. Dave Krause is their director of Veteran Affairs. It's an organization that helps people who are both active duty and veterans to unite through a shared love of gaming. And we ran this video yesterday, but you know the way that the show goes, not everybody can tune in every day. So we wanted to run it again today. We've been talking about StackUp for the last month, but we thought it would be even better for you to be able to hear about it straight from the source. So this is Dave talking about StackUp and what they do.
Let's check it out.
Hey everybody, I'm Dave Krause, the Director of Veteran Services for StackUp. Throughout the month of September, the Screen Junkies have talked a little bit about our programs and shared some of their experiences working with us at events like San Diego Comic-Con. Now, because September is focused on mental health, they wanted to give me a couple minutes to speak with you directly about our Overwatch program. Now, StackUp's Overwatch program provides 24/7 peer-to-peer support and crisis intervention to anybody over the age of 18 in need. Now, while most of our programs focus on active duty and veteran service members, we simply felt that this issue was too important to even take the chance of turning somebody away based on military service. So anybody is free to join our Discord server at discord.gg/stackup.org. They can drop a line into our dedicated Overwatch program channel, and within minutes get connected with one of our volunteers who are trained and certified to provide peer-to-peer support. Now, these conversations will typically start in that open channel and then very quickly be moved into a private conversation, either through a private voice channel or direct messages, whichever is more comfortable for you guys. At the end of the day, our primary mission here is just to let people know that, we want to be a resource for folks in need. StackUp's programs have always been based on mental health because we believe that gaming saves lives. And while most of our programs were focused on organic mental health through community and just engaging with folks, we realized that there was really a need for a more direct approach, something that really just kind of shouted from the rooftops like, hey, if you're struggling and you need somebody to talk to, we're here, we care about you, and we're ready, willing, and able to listen and just kind of help you work through some stuff. And what's really been the most fascinating thing for me to see is that we do have folks that will first meet us looking for support and then go on to get trained up themselves so they can provide support to others, which we think is just the coolest thing in the world. So if you'd like to get connected with StackUp, maybe learn more about what it is that we do, if you want to come reach out to us directly, we're all there. We pride ourselves on transparency in everything that we do. So anybody, we encourage you and welcome you to come be a part of our community. And absolutely, if you're feeling like you just need somebody to talk to, please reach out. You're not alone, and we care about you. Thank you so much for your support over this last month. Thank you to the Screen Junkies crew and to all you fans out there who are taking a moment of your time to watch this message. We appreciate you, we love you, and we hope you have a great day. Thanks.
Thank you, Dave, for explaining all of that to us. And don't forget, again, guys, StackUp. That's who we're partnering with this month, Suicide Awareness and Prevention Month. Now going on to Felicia's amazing book, which I can't believe I actually got the chance to read. I was very lucky to do so. Embrace your weird, face your fears, and unleash creativity.
Dazzle hands.
I like that. These are not spirit fingers. These
are spirit fingers. Oh, look, somebody did a cutout, too. Aww. This place is pro.
Yeah, super duper pro. And if you guys want to pick up the book, October 1st through Gallery Books. That's where you can get it. So this book is like a workbook of creative genius stuff, guys. If you flip through it, it's asking you to do some of the strangest things. But for me personally, it actually really worked. I know, Felicia, I told you that it helped me. I was having writer's block, and it really helped me move my feature to the next level.
Which really made my day.
Which is exactly what I think that this is for. But something I'm curious about is, how did your brain come up with some of these creative exercises that are from like draw a cat to write 5 words, cross them out, rip this page out of the book? Like everything is in here. How did you come up with all of these?
I mean, I just wanted to make a playful, like self-help books are something like I've read throughout my life, and they've got me over a lot of humps in life, being blocked or being depressed or being anxious about something. And I basically wanted to write my own version of one that was geeky and funny and whimsical. So whenever I like encountered, okay, I have a chapter on procrastination. How can I make this thing that everybody knows about that could be a lecture about how to get your crap together? Really, I just want to make it fun and funny. And if you make something funny, people will learn from it a lot more. Yeah. Also, I wanted to get people's bodies into it, because if we do something, we're going to learn it 20 times faster than if we just read about it and then forget it. So yeah, I just wanted, and also it's very geeky. Like the whole anxiety section is based on a 6-sided dice. And there's like drawings of worded out unicorns and hydras and everywhere. So, I mean, I think geeks will, I made it so that everybody could enjoy it, but there's certainly a lot of like, wink, wink, that's the fog of war. Gamers will know about this in this book.
I immediately thought of 15 of my friends that I thought I should get this for their birthday presents.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Well, because I feel like it really is for people of all different ages, and you talk a lot about how people who say they're not creative, that's just not even.
It makes me so upset, because if you meet any child, they're going to be super, super creative. You can't actually stop them from being creative. And so we're all natively creative. And I think when we have a conduit, that's when we are happier. Like, whether you're doing cosplay or building a rocket or writing a screenplay, having that outlet in your life, whether it's just a hobby or it's your profession, like, I think it really makes you a happier person inside. So I guess the moral of the story is, like, we are all creative. We all it's important for us to create, and the work of creativity is important to be in our lives. And if you could just, just cut out a tiny bit of your day to output your own creativity rather than just consume, I think overall we'll all be happier people.
It's interesting you said a tiny bit of your day, because I feel like to go through this whole book, you really could take your time with it. Like you could focus on a chapter, a thing a day, and some of the designs took me a while to do because
the whole point is to do it, like I think I'd say in the book, it's like a dense chocolate cake. You know those kinds that get like, it's like 40,000 pounds in your tummy?
Yeah.
So you do not want to like rush through that. It's not like a souffle, guys. You just want to like really savor it, because you never know when like a section will hit you in a way like, oh wow, this really adds up to why I don't do X,
I love that message too, because I think the same. I feel like things are painted like people think you're only creative if you write music or an author, or if you are a dancer, or you're only smart if you're a rocket scientist or a doctor. And I really do think like everyone's brilliant in their own way and everyone's creative in their own way.
Yeah, and part of this book is just finding out how that applies to you. So the whole first section is building your hero. Yes, there's lots of geeksy stuff in there. So you're building your hero from scratch, and it's like, well, what do I genuinely want to do with my time creatively? And whether it's knitting or literally it can be anything. Driving home a different way every day is a creative act. So, I think if we can appreciate the tiny things that we do in our life that are creative, it'll make it easier to build that bridge to that bigger creative thing we dream about doing, like writing a book or whatever.
I love that.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny. There's fart jokes in it too. Like it's not totally profound, right?
Well, you're an excellent writer also. It was a very easy read because of how it sounds like your voice.
Oh, thank you. I read it out loud because I did the audiobook too, but like to me, if you can, if you could perform something and make it relatable, it's easier, because I've done a lot of book readings and it's like, whoa, nobody ever said this out loud. So yeah, I want it to be easy to consume, but also like will sit in you a long time.
So we talked about how, yes, different ages, and like Dan said, different kinds of creative people, but who do you feel like this book is for? Who did you write this for?
I mean, honestly, I know this is a mealy-mouth thing to say. Like, I feel like it could be for anyone. I made sure to not include anything that was like too adult, so that teenagers, because I have a lot of teenage girlfriends, and especially like this is meant to really get people to understand the things that make you different are your superpowers. Like really, those are the things that will get you out into life in the best way possible. Because if you have peer pressure telling you to hide what makes you different, you're hiding the thing that fundamentally make you special in this world. Yeah. And so if you can brandish that with pride, you'll be drawn to the things in life that really will make you more fulfilled. And so, teenagers, of course, but like anybody, I wrote this through a life crisis. I had a baby and I was like, who am I now? I don't know how to give up all this video game stuff. Like, I don't know who I am without all this. And, being able to like go through this journey of rebuilding myself, getting rid of things that weren't as important, but also retaining the things that are super important to me, like a little bit of video games, let me kind of change my life in a way. And I think, certain places in your life, like puberty and getting out of college and turning 30 and we all have those transition points in our life where we're like, who do I become now? It's like shedding a snakeskin in a sense. What do I take with me? What do I leave in the weird trashy thing on the floor? So that was weird. Anyway.
I understood exactly what you're talking about.
Right? Have you ever found a snakeskin? It's disgusting. It's like, it looks like a huge fingernail. Anyway, get this book.
What a selling point on that. Well, I absolutely agree. Everybody, again, embrace your weird, face your fears, and unleash creativity. October 1st through Gallery Books. Felicia, what do you think is the number one thing you learned while writing this?
The number one thing I learned is that even if you have a dream of being like something, you have to make sure that dream is something you actually want to do the work of. Because I think a lot of the blocks come from us thinking about the end result of like, oh, how are people going to like the screenplay? Or, are people going to criticize my Poison Ivy outfit? Like, I feel like a lot of it is about just what do you want to incorporate as the work into your life? And then the work is the reward. The other stuff is just like icing on the cake. So that's what I actually took into my life. And I'm a better writer now, having written the book.
I love that. Speaking of Poison Ivy outfit, though, I don't think anybody would criticize if you were wearing a Poison Ivy outfit. But
it's my dream cosplay.
It's a pretty good one. But a question that we want to answer here today on the show is why you haven't been cast as Barbara Gordon yet in The Crisis. So that's really what we're trying to get at.
Let's talk. You guys can be my agent.
Let's talk. Yeah. And we would love to be, because every single person seems to be getting cast in this crisis right now.
I know people who are not on this list who are in this crisis. And
really?
I'm like, how far down do they need to trickle? Because there's a cast of hundreds. Why am I not on this list somehow?
It is a 5-part crossover, and we did find out recently recently that somebody is not going to be in this crisis, and that is Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
How did we find this out? Well, he was sure to let us know via Twitter. This was quite the intense statement that he made. I would love to get your guys' thoughts on this. He'd been being asked by fans over and over again, obviously after Tom Welling was announced and all of these names have been floated. He's been getting asked, and it makes sense why, but he wrote back explaining that he will not be in crisis. He says what their offer was, no script, no idea what I'm doing, no idea when I'm shooting, basically no money, and the real kick in the ass, we have to know right now. My simple answer was pass. So he will not be joining. He will not be. And then I actually saw that the first comment on it was by David Soboleff, who voices Gorilla Grodd, who just wrote, wow. I was like, okay, DC, okay.
And that's the voice I read that tweeted.
Yeah, wow. So thoughts on this? Do you think Rosenbaum should have tweeted this out? Do you think it's fair that he did? Do you think it makes sense that he's not joining the crisis team?
I mean, I know Michael, so it makes sense, knowing Michael, that he would just be like, I need to know more. Like, I mean, I respect an actor to do that. Like, if somebody called me and said blindly, you need to be a part of this, I would have been like, yes, but at the same time, you have to respect, he's a very actor.
You would have said yes.
For sure, yeah, but I think he has more of a legacy, because I would have been a new character, so it's like, but he has a legacy that he might want to protect, and as an actor, you kind of want to know what you're doing, and so I respect that a lot, and I respect him as a person, but it just depends. It depends on the actor.
Bummer for the fans.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you think?
I mean, I'm not an actor, but I remember one time they were doing some publicity for The Nun, and they were just like, hey, do you want to go to Mexico City? And I was like, well, what are we doing? And they're like, I don't know, something with a catacomb, and we're not really sure. And I said, send Joe.
And Joe went, yes.
So I can
Was
relate.
it amazing, Joe? Yeah.
No, I can relate to this idea of like, well, I'm not going to just like sign on to something without knowing.
But what if you had been to Mexico a bajillion times for that?
Well, then that'd be different. But I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, I can definitely relate to this idea, especially if they're going to press you and be like, we have to know right this second. Like, I'm also very wary of like, well, I don't want to just commit blindly to something and not know what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's a lot of it is about setting boundaries for yourself and not blindly saying yes just because the fans want it.
In my book, I actually have a section of like, I have to get back to you. That is like
That's one of my favorite things.
I have to get back with you, because I'm the person who'll just say yes to anything, and then I'm like, why am I standing in a cheese suit here or whatever, or a mouse suit? So I'm just like, why am I here? Why am I trying to please everybody? And so I think there's a fine line between like being available but also being not protective of yourself. And I don't know.
There's just a ton of conflicting messages when you get into this industry, though, because I feel, and that's probably any industry, but half the people tell you, say yes to everything, right? How many times have you heard that? Say yes to everything.
For most of my career.
And I tell people that. I actually give that advice. When you start out, say yes to everything. But like, I don't know if that's good advice. I've lived by it, but like, what do I know?
Well, that's my advice too. But I always try to caveat it with like, don't say yes to everything like that you're comfortable, like not just like say yes to don't Jim Carrey it. But I agree that like if there's a job that you're not sure about, in the sense of like, well, I don't know where this is going to lead, but it's work, like say yes, because you never know where it's going to lead, but not like say yes to like literally everything.
Yeah.
Okay. We also saw Brandon Routh, his first photo of him in his Kingdom Come inspired outfit that was revealed this morning.
Wow.
It looks a little bit like a fan image to me.
It does
a little bit,
right? Yeah. I'm not mad at that though, because he is kind of a campy character, and this is kind of a campy picture. Thoughts on this super outfit of his? Yes,
I think he looks great.
I think he looks great. I can't be the only one that thinks the emblem is a little high.
Yeah, it does. It needs to be zhuzhed down like an inch, right?
It's very close to his chin.
Yeah,
It's very high up.
And I'm excited. My friend Osric is going to be replacing him, I guess, as Adam.
I don't know, because the character does become Adam. So I guess.
How does that work? I'm just excited for Osric. He's amazing.
Yeah, I don't know, because he's playing Ryan Choi, who becomes the Adam in the comics.
But then wasn't Brandon Adam?
Oh, he is still Adam, but we also have like 6 Supermans that are coming.
Oh, so basically this could be like 17 versions of every single character?
Possibly, because
Great.
multiverse. So, Crisis on Infinite Earths. So we've got
People are going to be standing around in suits with one line in every single scene. Like, that's what's going to be happening.
That's kind of what I gauge. But also, we should start the hashtag now, Felicia Day for Barbara Gordon.
Yes. Oh, I like that. I mean, listen, if I were going to pick any character in, although, it would be nice to have a person who would be a disabled character, an actor to that. I actually would feel inappropriate taking a role that would play a disabled character. I don't know. That's just me, though.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Providing opportunities for people with disabilities to be more visible on screen.
We're back for Poison Ivy.
We're back to Poison Ivy. Or just maybe like Spunky Reporter. Hey, cameo. Hi, what do you think about this?
If you're Spunky Reporter, can I be Spunky Reporter number 4?
Yes, we could be really good. And then you'd like I could see you muscling me, like elbowing me in the face or something.
I'm fine having no lines. I'm just
totally fine.
Giving the glares, nudging.
I smell spinoff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. Speaking of which, that Smoke spinoff that the Arrowverse is doing.
What is going on with that?
I guess they're doing a spin-off of the Arrowverse, another one with those 3
But it's set in like 2040?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Are people all just going to be in holograms and stuff? That's so hard to project the near future because it's just like, let's make fun of me in 10 years.
We've been doing flash forwards of it, and it's not working, and I don't understand why they were like, let's take this part of the show that is not quite working and make it its own show.
Let's live here forever.
Yeah, bizarro. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We are going into some fan questions.
I love that you do a dance for it.
Well, because it's like the song that plays, but we can't hear it because we're not in headphones. So I feel like it's very.
So the audience is hearing that song?
Yeah.
You're doing interpretive dancing to silence here?
That I am embracing my weird, okay? So no judgment on my
Not
dance.
at all. I was just clarifying.
I'm jazzercising. Is that a thing still?
What's that one on YouTube? The woman who does the pony? Kind of little.
Oh my God, the
what is
pony
it called?
sizing.
What's it called?
Oh my God, Prancer sizing?
Prancer sizing?
Yes!
Oh my God, I love that woman.
Oh my God.
Just look it up.
Okay,
YouTube.
I don't know if I have to look.
She pretends to ride a horse for exercise.
Yeah.
She pretends.
She's very skinny, so
She
something's
gallops.
working. Yeah.
On YouTube.
Just look up Prancer size, guys.
There's a whole website.
There's a whole website. Yeah.
She's
Someone else knows.
Oh
what
yes, I know.
Prancer
I was excited about that.
She's on YouTube and we're on YouTube, so really, aren't we all prancercising right now? I don't know if that's how things
Excellent
work.
bell.
Let's get into some fan questions because we got great ones today. Renata Ashley says, Danielle stated she loves to read. Unfortunately, Danielle's not at the table right now, but
She's
good for her.
reading.
That she's somewhere off reading. I see her in the corner. What book that has not been adapted into a movie would you like to see adapted? What was?
Sorry, I was just laughing at Dan's thinking face.
Because he doesn't know. I'll give him some time. Let's start on this side of the table. Any book that has not been previously adapted. Why am I struggling with that word today? Adapted.
I would go
Say what you
That's
with
good.
Carter Beats the Devil. It's a book of.
yeah.
Have you read it?
That's a good book,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's about a magician who brings the president on stage, and they do like this really insane act, but then the president mysteriously dies a few hours later. So it's him trying to figure out what happened and essentially clear his name.
Does he? Don't tell me.
I'm not going to spoil it, but I think you'd actually really enjoy that one. Carter Beats the Devil would be one, or Devil in White City would be another one that I'd love to see.
You want
adapted.
all devil books.
You like the period devil
know
book.
what?
The
Yeah.
period magician devil book.
I like a period magician devil book.
That's your triangle right there.
Devil in White City. That feels like it'd be such a Scorsese movie too.
I want to say it's in development with
It has
somebody.
to
I don't
be.
remember who it
Really?
is, but it's I want to say DiCaprio maybe.
It's one of those books that people
Devil in
watch
the
over
White
and over,
City?
right? Like it's one of those things that never
I've
happens.
heard,
It's just
I've
over
heard
and
that it's
over.
always being developed.
Because everyone wants to do H.H. Holmes, but nobody's ever really done it in a way that stuck. And I think it's because they never really look at all the pieces around it. Because nobody ever really gets the set piece of the World's Fair correctly.
Do you guys?
TV series in development with Hulu apparently.
Hulu TV series in development.
It's not. I was thinking of something completely different.
Do you guys understand that when we
Doesn't
talk,
exist.
this is how little I read, which is embarrassing and not great. When you guys say book names, I'm like, yes, aha. Not heard of one of those. You only said 2. Let's see if I've got yours. Name the book.
I read that's the one thing I will not let go of. I love reading. I read 3 books a week at least.
What?
So
When?
I just that's the only thing. That's I read boring nonfiction to go to sleep, and I read in my car instead of on Twitter. I just install my Kindle app and read books. But I love this. I love urban fantasy, and I think they tried to do Dresden Files, and it was not a good success on Sci-Fi. But there's a lot of female-driven ones that I love, and there's one called the Kate Daniels series, which is a woman who, it's in an alt world where magic will wave through and basically electricity will go away. So it kind of goes back and forth. And there's vampires and there's werewolves, and like she's this mysterious magician. She can use magic in a really cool way. She's a swords person. So it's like this amazing, it has romance in it, but it's also just kick-ass, amazing lore. And I just think it would be a great series.
I love that.
You're asking for a large budget there.
Come on.
Need some money,
but I want to
that
see
one.
some werewolf hot sex action.
Yeah, same. I mean,
Right?
preaching to the choir
Who
right
doesn't
now.
need that in their
right,
life?
Dan?
Exactly.
All right, what's your book, Dan?
Here's the thing with me. I'm such a movie person that I love to read, but I generally am only reading something that is A, about to be adapted into a movie, or B, was just adapted into a movie, which means all of my answers for this question are invalid.
Wow.
Because
I do that same thing.
I don't know why. I just that's just the way it is. I really do love to read it. I need to do it more. I started listening to books in the car, but that takes a while because it's like 45 minutes a day.
You can
commute.
listen on fast forward, I started doing that.
Oh,
but I
2 times speed, me too.
Yeah, 2 times speed,
See, I
right?
can't do 2 times because it makes me nervous while I'm driving. Like, I can do like 1.25 or 1.5. I can't go up to 2.
I don't like listening to books because I read way faster than I listen, even 2 times. I don't just
Really?
Yeah, I'm a super
Oh,
speed
there you
reader.
go.
I'll
Not
read the
bad.
same sentence over and over and over, and then I'm like, what did I just read?
You read my book, so you're a liar.
Yeah, but your book was great.
Oh, thank you.
Easy to
Roxy.
read, and it had. I like pictures and I like to draw,
Yeah,
so
there's
that
those-
was really helpful for me because I
that's
can't
awesome.
get through a book when it's not like I need to be doing something. And
Oh,
yours
that's so
was.
cool. That's an endorsement of my book. You're my favorite.
Well, I loved it. I really did. And we should adapt this into a movie somehow. Well, there are more interactive movies now. Be like, pause the screen.
Yeah, and maybe
Draw a
you.
unicorn.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like there. You know what I love? The art style. I cannot draw, but I did get an artist to do like the pictures in here, and like
They're fun.
they're really fun, and they're like if I could draw, that would be the style. And there's like a roided out unicorn. I need to memorize so I would just basically maybe do like take one maybe that unicorn and make them a star in an animated show. It's a little BoJack on
it.
steroids with a horn.
Wow, if BoJack was a unicorn, I'm into it. I love that show. Let's talk about one last fan question before we get out of here from Devil Kazuya 27. I can read. Remember, I told you guys. What's a song you strongly associate with a movie or TV show? Obviously, there's so many of them out there. Dan, thoughts on the song that you most strongly associate with a movie or TV show?
Tarantino is so good at soundtracks that there's a bunch of songs that now I can like Little Green Bag from Reservoir Dogs and Mr. Lou from just the opening of Pulp Fiction, and even I remember I was watching Atomic Blonde and they used the song I forget the name of it, the one that they used in Inglourious Bastards was "With Gasoline."
Oh, Cat People.
Yes, they used that in Atomic Blonde,
Great.
and even though Inglourious Bastards was a newer movie, I was just like, you can't. No,
Yep.
that's the
I
Inglourious
associate
Basterds
it
song.
with the blush.
The blush going
Smudge
under
it out
yes.
down the stairs.
And that shot with the so I just feel like there's so many. He's such a good curator, or his music supervisor and editing team and everyone. They're so good at curating songs that like there are a number of songs that I solely can now so even like Jungle Boogie, which was forever. Now when I hear it, I just think of the opening scene in Pulp Fiction where they're in the car. So yeah.
I feel you on that. Any for you, Felicia?
I mean, mine's a real old reference, but it's because I saw this movie when I was like a teenager. It was Kiss Me, that one from She's All That.
Sixpence
with Freddie
and
Prinze
nonetheless,
Jr.
or what? Come
on, yeah.
Nonetheless, richer.
I don't know. Whenever
got
I
there
listen to
together.
that, I'm like, eating popcorn in the movie theater, and my mom like, let me go alone. I don't know. It's just Freddie Prinze Jr. was so dreamy.
It's facts. We're on the same wavelength there. Any thoughts on this for you, Vanessa?
Yeah, I love it when horror directors use songs that you see in your everyday life and then they like twist it on its head and that's all you can think of, kind of like when Jordan Peele did it with the Beach Boys and Us this year. But the one for me that's like they destroyed the song for me forever was Tom Petty's American Girl in Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah.
I cannot hear that song without immediately going to Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
And I was actually at a party once where this guy like pulled out an acoustic guitar, so I already hated him.
Oh no, I hate that. But why do they do that?
do they keep doing
No
that?
panties
For
drop
me.
when people do
None.
that.
Oh my God.
Wait, what?
Now you guys are not speaking my language.
What? You're the person that works on?
Basic in
Oh,
that
it's
area.
so basic.
I know.
See, the thing is,
I literally want to de-string it and string him up in the bathroom. I'm like, please.
like, no!
I was at Thanksgiving once at
They
somebody's house.
never wear socks, those guys.
They never wear socks. I was at Thanksgiving at somebody's house, and there was like 20 people there, and we were all, there was music on, and we were all having a good time, and somebody went and turned the music off so that they could sit and play guitar.
It was me. I turned the music off.
Did you turn it off for the guy?
Yeah.
my
did.
God.
Roxy.
I know. I'm the problem.
See,
I've known for a long time. It's
The guy could have had the
bad.
common decency to just play Wonderwall like everyone else does. But this guy starts playing American Girl, and I was like,
Or
now I
Stairway
don't
to
trust
Heaven.
you.
It's either those two, isn't it?
I'm okay
They're
with all of it.
detestable.
Well, now we learned what's wrong with me and the rest of
No,
the world.
at least it works on someone.
Yeah.
That way it will always keep happening. Thank you.
And this is why I'm single. The one for me would be Bittersweet Symphony from Cruel Intentions.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, that's
that car-
great.
It's so
Coming out of the
good.
church.
Yeah, it just that one always. Anytime that comes on, I think about that, and then at the end of the car ride, listening to it. So there we have it. Now I'm officially embarrassed and red, and we can get out of here on this
Now-
amazing Friday.
Every party that you're going to be at will be a guy. Like, oh, it's Roxy.
Exactly. I'm
have our
attracting
stuff.
this kind of behavior. I understand that. But more importantly, embrace your weird. Felicia Day's book out on October 1st.
FeliciaDayBook.com. You can see me on book tour. I'll be there for 2 weeks on the road.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's a...
A lot of airport food. Just come see me. I might be a wizened, like, by the end.
Airport food's gotten better though, so you're okay.
Yeah, it's
A lot
okay.
of Chili's too.
And I know that you've been. I don't mind that though. I know you've been spending time tweeting it out too. So can
Yeah.
people follow you on social
Yeah,
media?
I'm on social media at Felicia Day everywhere. I'm sorry, I'm going to be annoying with the book for the next couple of weeks, but I keep it on the DL most of the time. So
Vanessa, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on @Neskrit on all forms of social media. Every Thursday, you can find me on El Rey Network on El Rey Nation. And online, check out my sketch team, Night Church. We have a bunch of Halloween-themed stuff coming out this month. I'm going to be covered in a lot of fake blood. Thankfully, it all tastes like sugar syrup,
An American Girl will be playing behind you.
hopefully.
That would be the best. Dan, what about you?
Right here on Fandom Entertainment, on Screen Junkies as well. We've got Honest Trailers next week, Charting on Monday, and then next week in New York
That's so soon.
with Galaxy Quest. It's literally like a week from now, which is crazy to think about.
I didn't realize that. I looked at it, I was like, oh, NYCC, I'm going to be there. Wait, that's next week? And I just was like, bleh.
You're like I'm in 7 cities before that. Yeah, that's a lot. I'm
Crazy.
everywhere at Roxy Striar, and we'll see you guys next week on Monday for SJU. Bye, guys.